Is it correct to think of food as medicine? Not exactly. This is from the Seattle Times, written by Carrie Dennett. So, whenever I see articles about food, I like to check it out. So let's read. I am a big proponent of the food is medicine theory. It's not really a theory, it's just like kind of a messaging, really. It's just a way to message things, but whatever. The Greek physician Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, allegedly wrote, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food," more than 2,500 years ago. I say allegedly because it turns out that quote is nowhere to be found in any recovered documents ascribed to Hippocrates. All right. Goddamn Hippocrates. Unfortunately, this oft-repeated phrase, I've invoked it myself, has created a few widespread misconceptions. One is that it's possible to reject conventional medical treatment in favor of curing disease with food alone. So, now, I agree that, like, faith healers are fucking stupid. Or, like, you know, like the people, I'm gonna eat an orange to combat COVID. Those people are dumb? Does that mean eating an orange is the worst thing in the world? Does that mean upping your vitamins is bad? No. But again, it's definitely not a replacement, but it's also not an either or, right? Another is that if we develop a chronic illness, it's because our diet wasn't healthy enough. Those are big burdens to bear. I will say this, as someone who has had multiple chronic illnesses in my life, almost every single one has been cured from fixing my diet. So that's my experience. Your mileage may vary. I'm also 25, right? So I made my big diet changes when I was relatively young. If you're like in your 40s or 50s, it might be harder to adjust your diet and that kind of stuff. But, you know, for me personally, I had multiple chronic illnesses when I was young, and pretty much all of them are gone. This doesn't mean, now again, I can go into more in depth than that at some point. Maybe, but you know, this doesn't mean that nutrition doesn't matter. It does. While treating illness does involve food in the Hippocratic era, food was not treated as medicine. Food was viewed as a substance that our bodies could assimilate after digestion. Well, no shit. That's kind of what food is, isn't that? That's just a description of what food is. Whereas medicine was viewed as a substance that could change the body's own nature. As UK doctor and nutritionist Joshua writes in his 2021 book, "Food isn't medicine. Drugs are able to do things to the human body that nothing else can, but the absence of a drug, it doesn't cause disease." For example, he points out that taking vitamin C for scurvy works because scurvy is caused by a lack of vitamin C, blah, blah, blah. The limitations of nutrition? Generally speaking, now I just want to say my opinion on the food is medicine thing. 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables, right? Look it up. 95% of Americans do not eat fiber. They do not eat on a daily basis any fiber. Fiber, what is fiber? Fiber is vegetables, motherfucker. 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables. A lot of chronic health conditions are directly related to diet. Now, again, does that mean that, oh, let me just pop an orange and that's like, you know, that's a preventative pill or that's a vaccine? No, that's not how it works, right? Your diet, it's not, you don't eat an orange and then you're set for like 6 weeks or something. That's not how it works, right? You know, you have to maintain a healthy diet to maintain a healthy body, right? So that's my opinion. Food is not medicine in the sense, oh, I feel sick, let me take medicine. Food is preventative medicine, right? Food is how you prevent illnesses from piling up. So let's keep going. The limitations of nutrition. Generally speaking, getting adequate levels of necessary nutrients enables our bodies to develop and function normally. That means when improving diet quality or increasing physical activity, the biggest health gains happen when someone moves from a low baseline nutrient deficiency and a sedentary life to meeting the minimum recommended levels. Once again, 95% of Americans do not eat fiber. So again, when we're talking about this, we're talking about almost everyone in this country anyway. Sure, there can be some benefit from going above and beyond adequate, but those benefits are proportionately small. The fact becomes lost in the rhetoric of optimizing our diets or eating clean. Now again, optimizing your diet, like this whole diet fad culture of like every meal has to be carefully constructed and planned out. No. That's fucking stupid. That's how you develop a mental illness and an eating disorder. But again, right? Eating clean, right, doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to eat well for a week and then I'm going to go back to eating junk food and hamburgers and like TV dinners and goddamn this and that and Wendy's and, you know, both of which are common in diet and wellness culture. At best, the drive to eat perfectly can lead to food obsession with no guarantee of the desired payoff. Again, trying to optimize it, it's not like a math equation. I mean, I guess it theoretically could be, but the way that we live, like the way our society is structured, let's be honest, it's not going to be like a math equation. You're not, unless you're growing and processing all of your own food, there's going to be variables inherent to just living in a society. Once again, but I have experience with developing eating disorders around trying to optimize my diet, so to speak. And that's why, in my opinion, I just adopted general principles like eat fiber every day. Make sure you are not one of the 95%. If you are one of the 5% that eats fiber every day, you're doing literally better than 95% of Americans. In my opinion, like, as long as I've eaten the daily recommended amount of fiber, I don't feel too bad about what I eat. Sometimes, I'll have a little extra, chips with something. Sometimes I'll have a soda pop every once in a while. But overall, I'm still eating vegetables every day, right? So my opinion is a lot of the times, now again, this is just in my experience, but a lot of people I've talked to, right, what they'll do is they'll eat bad meals, right? And then they won't have like good meals throughout the day. My opinion, if I'm eating good meals and I want to add like a bad meal on top of it, if it's an extra, if it's a snack on top of something, that's fine. Right, you eat a normal, well-balanced meal, and if you just want to pig out, you know what? All right, let's go drink a soda pop on top of having eaten well. The big problem is when people come into the meal replacement. They replace normal food with fast food, with TV dinners, with all that garbage. If you really want a Hot Pocket, let's say that's your favorite fucking shit in the world for whatever reason, you really want a Hot Pocket, you're craving a Hot Pocket, okay, have one. But maybe have one a couple hours after you've had a well-balanced dinner. That's my, like, yes, you are overall eating more, right? You're eating more, but you're also, it's like, as long as you understand it's an aberration, the goal is that, you don't want to replace good foods with bad foods. That's my thing. There's a lot of hand-wringing about poor quality diets driving increases in many chronic diseases. Yes, there's evidence that a nutritious diet that includes lots of plant foods can help prevent cardiovascular disease and cancer, probably the two chronic diseases that we worry most about. But there's no guarantee that eating healthfully will let you dodge those bullets. Does that mean we shouldn't do it? I don't understand this article. I really don't. I don't know who this article is for. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. Because I don't know who this article is for. This article is like designed for people that are like, I think, just getting into wellness culture. Like maybe they got like their foot in the water, right? And it's like, but I don't know. That seems like a very small subsect of people. I don't know. There's no guarantee, blah, blah, blah. When I used to work with cancer patients, I had many conversations. It started with the person sitting across from me telling me that they knew they caused their cancer by not eating healthy enough. You better believe I shut down the shame train. Yeah, people shouldn't feel bad about that. For sure. But, I still don't know who this article is for. I don't know. Again, it's not that nutrition doesn't matter for health, but far too much emphasis is placed on personal responsibility, given that what determines our health is multifactorial. If you were to imagine those factors in a pie chart, social and economic factors account for about 40%. Our genes, biology, physical environment, and the quality of our health care we receive is about... So my thing is, okay, you can't control the factors that you can't control. My opinion is what you can control, you should optimize to the best of your capabilities. And that doesn't mean going above and beyond your capabilities, right? So, this idea, half of what affects us is the lead in the gasoline, so I'm just going to drink Coca-Cola all day? I don't quite get that. I'm not quite sure what that, yes, it's important to understand that it's not everything, it's not the complete picture, but I'm not quite understanding what this article is about or who it's for. It includes nutrition as well. The 30% chunk includes nutrition as well as physical activity, sleep, stress, preventative healthcare, risky behaviors, unsafe sex, failure to wear seatbelts, smoking status, and alcohol and drug use. I love alcohol. I love drugs. I do not love unsafe sex. I think unsafe sex, very bad. But I do love drugs and alcohol. Where food matters more. It's true that food has a therapeutic, dare I say, medicinal role for certain health conditions. Some are relatively rare and too complicated to explain here. But here are a few common examples. Many people with irritable bowel syndrome can manage symptoms by avoiding high FODMAP, fermentable foods. Okay. The only known treatment for celiac disease is total avoidance of gluten, one of the proteins in wheat, rye, and barley. Although, there are some promising drug trials underway. Okay, so a disease is when you eat food and it negatively interacts with your body. Is that a disease or an allergy? You know, for diagnosed food allergies or intolerances, avoiding of the offending food is key. Oh, wow. So if someone has an allergy and they eat something that they're allergic to, they'll have reaction. And so if you don't eat the food, that's medicine. I don't know who this article is for, but I'm enjoying it. The bottom line is the best medicine is to aim for balance in our lives with regards to food movements. Okay, I agree with that. But the other thing is, in my opinion, like, we live in a culture where 95% of Americans aren't eating right. So in my opinion, I don't know who this article is for. Personally, I think it's okay to treat food as medicine, but it's an analogy. It's a metaphor, right? It's not a direct one-to-one, you know, like, oh, I feel sick, let me eat an orange is not the same as, oh, I feel sick, let me drink some cough syrup or something. I'm back on the subject of drugs and alcohol. But, you know, I don't know. I don't quite know what this article is for or why it exists. But, you know, I decided to read it because that's what I do. Goddamn hummus. I love hummus.